Any health-related information on the following show provides general information only. Content presented on any show by any host or guest should not be substituted for a doctor's advice. Always consult your physician before beginning any new diet, exercise, or treatment program.
Welcome to Accelerated Health with Sara Banta. I'm a wife, mom of 3, and an NANP certified supplement professional, but that's not all. I'm also the founder of the most innovative health supplement company 4 years in a row, Accelerated Health Products, a brand offering innovative natural scalar enhanced supplements to optimize your health. And this podcast is not just a source of information. We are a community. We're all here to learn and grow on our health journeys, regardless of where we are today. This podcast is the springboard to learning, and the free group coaching on Telegram is where we continue that journey together. You ask your questions. I post tips and tools every day to keep you moving forward. So here's what you can expect. New episodes every Monday and Wednesday with in-depth health discussions and expert guests, hot topics that are in the news every Friday to keep things fun, and then of course followed up with the free group coaching on Telegram where you ask your questions, connect with others, and all of the details are on my website at SaraBantaHealth.com. Have you thought about detoxing, but you're a little worried? You don't want those detox flu symptoms. You don't want to be starving or put on a liquid diet. Believe me, I won't do that to you. Well, I've created over 10 unique, easy detox cleanse programs. You eat real food. You reset your body. You can start with the colon cleanse just to get pooping. You can do the parasite cleanse or candida cleanse, which a lot of people are needing nowadays after the pandemic. And you can also do the liver flush cleanse. I recommend that at least 4 times a year. And the biggie is the accelerated diet cleanse. You feel great day 1. Don't get scared, but it resets your hormones, your brain, your gut, your weight loss plateaus, all the things. You can take the detox quiz at SaraBantaHealth.com to find out which one's right for you. And maybe you're not ready for a detox. Maybe you just want to start with 1 supplement or 2. Complete my health goals form on the website, and I will personally put together a protocol just for you. Just by taking a few steps forward with your health, I promise you, you will change your life. The difference is I'm here every step of the way. Today, we're talking about one of my favorite topics is iodine. And if you're considering iodine supplementation, it's absolutely essential to understand exactly what you're putting in your body. Goes for any supplement, right? You can have bad water. You can have bad food. So you can have bad supplements with toxins in their ingredients that are not even on the label. So it goes to not just the type of iodine, but the purity, the bioavailability, how effective your body can use it at the cellular level. And many iodine supplements are just not delivering the benefits they promise. And so we're going to dive deep into the form of different iodines, the purity, the delivery method. Remember, it's just like food. Like just by eating food does not mean you're going to have energy. How many times have you sat down to a meal, eaten a ton of food? Well, that's supposed to convert into energy and you're tired and you want to sit on the couch and can't get up. Kind of the same thing. And so we need to understand all of these different aspects when it goes into iodine. And it also may be a reason that you have an allergic reaction to iodine. It might not be the iodine, but it might be the toxins in the supplement, might be the carrier of the supplement. Where's the iodine coming from? All of that. The reality is, though, before we get into the different forms of supplementation, we need iodine. 96% of you are deficient in iodine. It is not like what our grandparents were experiencing, or even our parents. Because we're now exposed to a whole host of chemicals that actively block iodine from being absorbed and utilized in the body, and it's not in our soils or our diets anymore. And even iodized salt is not that available, and it's full of microplastics blocking the absorption of the little iodine in the salt. It doesn't work. We have these chemicals known as halogens. Fluoride, bromine, chlorine. You're hearing about fluoride in the water and that whole thing. Fluoride dumbs you down, dumbs our children down, lowers IQ. Guess what? Increases IQ. iodine. It's not a mystery as to why they're playing against each other. So fluoride has gone up in our environment and our diet, in our water, in our food, in our air, and iodine's gone down. So we have more hypothyroidism, more brain fog, more endocrine issues, more estrogen dominance, more testosterone in the tank, more inflammation, more backed up liver, more, and they all go back to iodine deficiencies. Well, halogens, these halogens I'm talking about, fluoride, bromide, chlorine, compete with iodine at the receptor level. This is called halogen displacement. Your thyroid, your breast tissue, your ovaries, even your prostate, they depend on iodine. But if those iodine receptor sites are already filled in those parking spots with fluoride or bromine or bromide, iodine can't get in. It's like showing up for your favorite parking spot and finding someone else's car there. Well, even if iodine is circulating in the bloodstream, it has nowhere to park. And it's not just about blocking iodine's absorption. This exposure also leads to the opposite thought of chemical inhibition, meaning these halogens not only take iodine's place, but they also disrupt the entire thyroid hormone production process. They prevent your body from producing enough T3 and T4. Those are your thyroid hormones that stand for tyrosine and 3 and 4 molecules of iodine. How can you have thyroid hormones without iodine? These are the hormones responsible for regulating metabolism, detoxification, fertility. How many people are trying to get pregnant and they can't? Mood. How many people are on antidepressants? The number one cause of depression, iodine deficiency. Do you see how all of these things are connected? And all of these huge critical diseases and ailments that people are suffering from have skyrocketed. This is why iodine deficiency today looks very different than it ever did before. And it's not simply a lack of iodine in the soil or our food. It's that our bodies are under constant chemical attack from substances that block, displace, and inhibit iodine's critical role. So why do we need so much more iodine? Well, we've got these iodine disruptors that I've talked about. And these are impeding the absorption and utilization of iodine, like I talked about, by the thyroid gland. And that's the fluoride, the bromide, chlorine. I live in Southern California. We've got the LA fires that happened, horrific. They were dumping bromide as fire retardant on top of the fires to put them out. Yes, it was an emergency. We needed it. That bromide is toxic. It is illegal in Europe for a reason. I live an hour away. My house is safe. However, I definitely was breathing in that bromide. Of course, you've got it everywhere. You've got them in your house, in your cleaning products, all of that stuff. So these are, we've also got perchlorate, which is in fertilizers and drinking water that competitively inhibits iodine uptake in the thyroid. And this issue is worsened because we're all iodine deficient. And so instances of iodine deficiency, the halogens are sharing that same chemical structure, occupy those iodine receptor sites throughout the body, including the thyroid. That's why most people are suffering from unexplained weight gain, unexplained exhaustion, brain fog, all the things, right? And then you've got the endocrine disruptors. Toxins that are labeled endocrine disruptors can interfere with the normal operation of the full endocrine system. That's your adrenals, your sex organs, your thyroid. Your thyroid's the most important because it regulates everything else. So what happens is you get mitochondrial function goes down. You're only as healthy as your mitochondria. This causes hormonal imbalance, estrogen dominance, hypothyroidism. So these are the pesticides, the BPAs, the industrial chemicals. Then you've got the heavy metals, lead, mercury. Those have all been linked to thyroid irregularities. Lead's in your lipstick and your makeup. My levels of lead and aluminum and mercury were literally off the charts when I had my healing crisis and finally started to detox. Literally, the doctor's like, here's the chart, here's the upper limit, and you're up here off the page. That was me. So I'm probably still detoxing from them. But this makes hypothyroidism even worse. These heavy metals can do much more damage, especially when there's not enough iodine in the body. Then you've got the PFCs. These are found in nonstick cookware, waterproofing agents. They are lowering mitochondrial health, and even more so without iodine in the system. Radiation. Who's holding their cell phone right now? Who's in front of a computer watching this podcast? Exposure to radiation from medical procedures, environmental sources, smartphones, smart meters, all of that stuff causes insulin resistance without eating a morsel of chocolate, chronic disease, mitochondrial dysfunction, and low thyroid. I had to go to the dentist. I had to get some x-rays. I actually got a scan within a week, and my radiation levels were off the charts. It does damage, guys, and we're all exposed. There's no way around it. Well, iodine helps with that exposure and detoxing the radiation from the body. Stress. Who's not stressed? When you're stressed and you're chronically stressed, your adrenals use more iodine and salt than ever. So if you're taking finals during your finals week, if you have a big presentation, if you've had a death in the family, going through a divorce, financial situation, or you're just stressed because life is stressful now, you're using more iodine. The body shuts down its metabolism, and the body uses a lot more ATP, which is cellular energy, to produce these stress hormones. But if the body's deficient in salt, then iodine reserves are burnt up rapidly to produce an overabundance of these excess stress hormones. So the amount of iodine needed when you're stressed goes up, and the amount of salt you need goes up. The spike protein. So from the pandemic, this has been wreaking havoc on the body, affecting the liver, inhibiting fat and protein metabolism, disrupting the gut, increasing oxidative stress, histamine reaction and inflammation, and lowering thyroid function. Iodine can help alleviate all of that. Iodine helps with oxidative stress, inflammation, liver, alleviating and mitigating the actual spike protein in the body, and helping boost thyroid function, and helps with any of that inflammation that you have. It is also antiviral, antibacterial, antiparasitic, all the fun things too. We've got this standard American diet. It consists of 70% of our food, and it has dangerous unsaturated fats at a level our ancestors never were meant to eat. And with that, these PUFAs suppress gene expression, and that competitively inhibits T3, the active thyroid hormone. So another need for iodine. Endotoxins, same thing. The lipopolysaccharides, which are large molecules consisting of a lipid and a polysaccharide. And these molecules are released when the bacterial cell is destroyed. And during this process, endotoxins can trigger an inflammatory response in the body and lead to symptoms of bacterial infections. Well, that can suppress thyroid function as well. Dirty liver. All of our livers are dirty, guys, even mine. And non-alcoholic fatty liver disease affects over 45% of you. This is not meant to happen. It is 25%. Our children have 25% of our children have fatty liver disease. This was supposed to be an alcoholic's disease. It no longer is. We need iodine for our livers. Okay, so that's why we need iodine. We need it more than ever. We need it in higher doses than ever. But not all iodines are the same. And some iodines you're taking in have toxins that you're supposed to be kicking out. So let's look at the different forms of iodine first. You've got diatomic iodine, meaning 2 molecules of iodine, I2. And these are 2 iodine atoms that are bonded together, and it's commonly found in solutions containing a combination of potassium iodide and diatomic iodine. And this is Lugol's, okay? Well, the bioavailability of this form is only 20 to 50%. The body must use its expensive energy to break apart the compound and the molecules to access that usable unbound iodine. And then where are they getting their iodine from? Asia is the most common place that all iodine supplements come from. Iodine from Asia has been contaminated by Fukushima. So is all the sea waters. That's why we have to be careful with our sea kelp and our fish that we're eating. Where is it coming from? And our waters, you guys, the globe is small. The air from China is coming to us. The waters are coming to us. It's all kind of mixed together. So you have to be really careful of where you're getting your iodine and has it been tested. Then you've got that potassium iodide, which is Ki. It's commonly combined with that I2, and that is the Lugol's solution, which is 75% potassium iodide and 25% diatomic iodine. There's this thought that you need two different iodine forms for two different areas of the body, the thyroid versus the breast tissue, but that's not really the case. We're going to get into that in a minute. Then you've got tablets. So iodine tablets are absorbed very poorly. It's estimated that only about 10%, as per the physician's desk reference, is absorbed by the body. So you're not even getting much from that supplement. Then you've got the capsules, and they get a little bit more at about 20% absorption. Gel caps get about 30%. The liquids offer the highest value, which is 20 to 50%. And then you've got unbound, nascent, or monatomic iodine, which the iodine by itself can get to up to 100% bioavailability. But it depends what it is connected with. So I want to go back to, does the body need different types of iodine? Well, there was a study, the Iodine Project, that was funded by Optimox, the manufacturer of Iodoral, where they tested 4,000 patients with Lugol's formula. And like I mentioned, Lugol's is 75% Ki, potassium iodide, and 25% I2, diatomic iodine. What the study concluded was the thyroid prefers the Ki and the breast prefers the I2. However, the study failed to test I-, unbound iodine. So the I2 and the Ki, those two different forms of iodine, need to be broken down into the unbound iodine for either location and every cell in the body. So if you just give your body the unbound iodine, you don't need to go through this whole, I need two different types of iodine, right? So this is where the confusion is. Okay, so now back to the other forms of iodine. What about a sea kelp supplement? I was just talking to someone who is taking sea kelp. Well, many people think that because it's natural, it's coming from sea kelp, it's healthier. Well, at best, you're getting 25% bioavailability, but in our personal studies, we tested hundreds of different seaweeds. Every single one was radioactive, had radioactive contaminants. So what are you taking in? You're taking in toxins that the iodine's supposed to kick out. So sea kelp is out. Then we've got nascent iodine, okay? This is the atomic iodine. Nascent refers to iodine that is unbound. But where is it coming from? Is it coming from Asia? If the bottle doesn't say it or the website doesn't say it, you can bet it is coming from Asia. And that is toxic. And most iodine supplements are coming from Asia, just like that sea kelp. And then say you have an iodine that is from South America, away from the Asias, and it's attached to glycerin. Why is that not good? Well, glycerine-based iodine supplements have come to the market as an alternative that doesn't contain alcohol, right? Well, I used to take a glycerin-based iodine. I put it straight in my mouth because it wasn't that strong. But this is the problem. Glycerin represents a triatomic alcohol structure, while pure alcohol that is in Acceleradine iodine, we're going to talk about that in a minute, contains pure alcohol, which is diatomic. Why does this difference matter? Well, it is not as bioavailable. So maybe that iodine could possibly reach 100% bioavailability, but when it's attached to glycerin, no, it doesn't. So you're inhibiting that absorption by the cells. Glycerin's also impractical for topical uses because it's sticky, it's unsuitable for the wounds, irritated skin. And I talk so much about the benefits of topical iodine use when you enhance it with that accelerated scalar castor oil. You put it on your breast tissues for lumps. You put it over your thyroid for your thyroid. You use the combination as a face mask to help with wrinkles and brown spots and acne. You can put it over your liver for an enhanced liver castor oil pack. Put it over your abdominal area for PMS symptoms, cramps, or even just bloat. I do it all the time. Maybe you're constipated. So glycerin, messy, yucky, also inhibits the absorption of even the most bioavailable, clean iodine molecule. Okay, so then we go to alcohol. Well, all alcohol is the same, right? No. So here you have your iodine, and you're attaching it to alcohol. But there's three major variables that make or break the effectiveness and safety of the product. Now, if it is not labeled on the package, then you know they're using cheap alcohol. It's just like if a company has an organic product, organic chips, organic vegetables, you better believe they are going to announce from the rooftop that they're paying up the money for that organic label. If it's not labeled, it's not going to say non-organic. It's going to hope that you just don't even notice the difference. So number one is the quality of the alcohol that's used, the strength of the structure of the iodine molecule, and then, of course, some added bonuses we'll talk about in a minute. But alcohol. Okay, so you want to look for 200 proof organic non-GMO alcohol. What does that mean? 200 proof means 0 water content. This alcohol is fully, and it has a low viscosity. What does that mean? This means that it allows the iodine to pass effortlessly through the phospholipid biolayer of the cells. The cell membrane has an iodolipid value from the phospholipid biolayer. So it's got unsaturated and saturated fat layer, and it has an iodine value. But you want that iodine to be able to go right into the cell to boost that ATP in the mitochondria. So if the alcohol is not 200 proof and it has water mixed in, maybe it's 100 proof and it's 50% water, that raises the viscosity of the alcohol, making it much more difficult for the iodine to pass through the cell membrane. Then is the alcohol free from contaminants like pesticides, glyphosate, industrial solvents, GMO residues, the mycotoxins, all the things that we're trying to kick out of our body with iodine, right? So you want to make sure that you've got the 200 proof alcohol, because with that viscosity thickening, the iodine absorption goes down. The water dilutes that energy of the iodine molecule, reducing its nascent activity and leaving iodine atoms more likely to recombine into diatomic iodine structures, which then your body has to break down again. And it has no energy because you're hypothyroid, right? And then many companies use cheap, non-organic alcohol. And this can contain those pesticide residues and may be derived from GMO corn. I just did a post on castor oils and how the castor oils, even the organic castor oils and the handcrafted ones, are full of these toxins. So you got to know where your supplements are coming from. Some products use isopropyl alcohol or industrial ethanol, which are unsafe for internal use and cheaper. And then you've got the impurities in the alcohol that can introduce those heavy metals or solvents. So you got to know where your supplement's coming from. You don't want anything less than 200 proof organic alcohol to get the full benefit. And then that iodine structure, the true nascent iodine, referred to that single iodine atom of I- held in that energetic state that prevents them from pairing back up into diatomic iodine, that I2. But this is very difficult to do. You need that true monoatomic iodine and prepared in a scalar enhanced energetic environment. So you don't want that iodine to be able to recombine with I- and to have that double bond. Okay, so very important. This is where the scalar enhancement comes in. Acceleradine is the only iodine on the market that has scalar enhancement. What does that mean? Scalar energy refers to a type of 0-point energy field that can charge and stabilize molecules at a quantum level. This technology is not just theoretical. It's been around for hundreds of years. It is used at high-level homeopathy and energetic medicine. We talk about frequency, right? Well, it is very powerful in helping the body create a homeostasis, improving detoxification and efficacy of the Acceleradine or any supplement that you're taking that is scalar enhanced. So what can go wrong? Some supplements claim or use scalar. Actually, I don't know much of many supplements that do this, but a lot of technologies do this. But it could be off. It could be the frequencies could be a little off, right? Companies use basic electromagnetic pulsars or magnets, and they call it scalar, but it's not really. What else to look out for? So you might have uneven atom disbursement affecting the dosage. pH could be affected. Light and heat can destabilize iodine in different bottles or how the supplement is being treated. The lack of purity, like I've talked about. Plastic packaging. You want to make sure it's in a dark amber bottle to prevent the degradation. So what do we do here? We've come up with Acceleradine. Acceleradine solves all of the problems. It's 100% monoatomic iodine, I- in its energized, unbound state, enhanced with scalar frequencies. It's suspended in organic, 200 proof, non-GMO alcohol, no water, no contaminants, maximum absorption. We get our iodine deep from within the earth, thousands of feet below, untouched by modern man in South America, not Asia. It's enhanced with true scalar energy, and every batch is radiation free, heavy metal free, and contaminant free in a dark amber glass. And there's no glycerin, no potassium iodide, no unnecessary fillers, just pure, effective, energized iodine in the exact form your body needs in every place, whether it's your thyroid or your liver or your breast tissue. So I hope this clears up some misunderstandings of different iodine supplements, what our body needs, what could go wrong, why are your blood tests saying one thing? Another word on that. If you're worried about overdoing it on iodine, take your body temperature. Iodine blood tests are not accurate. You have to be careful. Take your body temperature. It's supposed to be 98.6, right? I would bet yours is not. I bet you are suboptimal thyroid. And iodine is the quickest fix to get that back up It also helps with that depression, the mood, the liver, everything, antiviral, antibacterial, all of the topical benefits. Using it for a face mask, for topically on your thyroid, for a skin rash, for fibroids, so many things. So I hope this helps. Thanks for listening. Our discussion does not have to stop here. If you're feeling lost in the supplement world or I just confused you, you can start by getting your free supplement protocol on my website, SaraBantaHealth.com. Complete the form and I will personally put together a protocol for you. Follow me on social media at Accelerated Health Products and join the free group coaching on Telegram. There's no downside. I will answer your questions. I post tips every day and you connect with amazing like-minded people. You can find this podcast at Accelerated Health with Sara Banta on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, E360, iHeartRadio, and over 100 different platforms. And share this podcast with your friends. There's so much confusion out there. You need iodine. You need iodine if you have hypothyroidism, and you need iodine if you have Hashimoto's. There's a lot of myths out there, and I talk about a lot of those myths on my website and on my other podcasts, so definitely look for those. You can use coupon podcast10 to get 10% off your first order. And remember, I'm live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so join me next time for more ways to unlock your health potential.